Hi, welcome back to the Spotlight here in the Defenders Lounge, the Defenders Den, in the Wellness Lounge and venue at Azura Veterans Coalition. I'm Nicole, your host and Navy veteran executive director here. First of all, I would like to start out by giving a shout out to Black Rifle Coffee Company, who has donated pounds and pounds of warm coffee, cold coffee for your brewing pleasure. Come down, grab a donut, grab a cup, sit down, enjoy a conversation with a fellow veteran or ally, and let's talk about it. I would also like to give a shout out to Val Vista Village, who has donated some funds to us in helping us grow our campaign here to reach as many veterans in the East Valley as possible. And I would like to welcome our guest today, Darrell Mandrell, former sailor, former soldier, former retired Mesa PD detective, and current Wounded Warrior Project Veteran Service Officer. Darrell, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Oh yeah, thanks for being here, man. Well, let's get right to it. Tell us why you joined the service, what happened at the beginning, and tell us your story.
Grew up in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. I always tell everyone I came out of the womb with a 30-30 rifle, riding a Harley, and to this day I still own mini rifles and a very cool three-wheeled wheelie bike. So, turned 17, went in, graduated high school, went into the Navy. My dad was Navy, kind of coaxing to get me in there. Turned 19 in Yokosuka, Japan.
Wow. My dad was Navy too, so was my grandpa. That's
Got
why
bored
I joined.
floating, so got out, went into law enforcement, but midlife crisis, went back into the reserves, into the Army, and ended up retiring out of that in 2017.
Whoa. That's a lot of life.
It was. More to go.
Oh yeah. What was your rate in MOS?
I was a RM1 while in the Navy and retired out of the Army as an E7, so MP.
Okay. You got a couple designated tattoos, right?
I do.
For your
I
time in.
got my sparks, the old RM sparks.
The rate has the same insignia today? Sparks?
I don't know. I know they combined with CT. I think they've got the CT insignia.
That's what I said last week. A lot of the rates have combined.
Yeah.
So like professional mariner, I was a deck seaman, but they incorporated the signalman and the quartermaster all into professional mariner.
Here you were on my sister ship, the Mount Whitney.
Yeah. So you were on the Blue Ridge.
CC-19.
Small world, man.
It is. We did a lot of away time, but we port hopped where the battle group was doing the Haze Gray. We were port hopping.
Haze Gray and underway.
That's the benefits of carrying the flag on the ship.
Yeah. Yep. Second fleet command ship.
Yep.
It's nice to lead.
It is.
The best way to go.
It is.
So, okay, in the service or in the PD, what'd you do there? You were a detective?
I was a motor cop for most of my career and really enjoyed it. So you get paid to ride motorcycles, life is good. You can't get any better than that. Ended up spending my last 7 years up in the hiring unit. Just when you think you've heard everything there is about being a cop, you do background interviews on potential cops. It all comes out.
What comes out?
Things you would never imagine come out of someone's mouth. That's for another channel.
A little outside the parameters of what we're doing here, but how'd you like it?
I loved it. It was a very rewarding career. It's a life of service, but I've seen this career and over the years take many speed bumps, many turnarounds, but it is an awesome career that will challenge you every single day. No matter what call you go on, it could be the exact same type of call, or even at the same house, the dynamics are different. Each and every time, it keeps you on your toes, keeps you young if you let it, and it'll make you old if you let it. So I didn't turn gray until I retired.
I was going to say, which side did you fare on?
Yeah, I didn't turn gray until I retired, so I'm doing something wrong in retirement. I'm still working, I guess, but
wow.
it was one of the funnest careers. I always wanted to be one. How I got into that, I've looked pretty much just like this, minus the gray, since high school. And my parents knew a undercover cop back in the town we grew up in. And at age 15, I was going into convenience stores buying alcohol. I'd come out, they'd slap the cuffs on me, ID me, go in, cite them. I said, I got to do this for a living. Wasn't old enough right out of high school, so I joined the military. Did my time in there, couple enlistments, then got out and became a cop, literally that same year.
Wow, smooth transition then.
Oh, it was great.
What conflict did you serve in? Did you?
I did Gulf One. 82 of 90, my oldest son's birthday and the day we went over. Got lucky on the others. Didn't get to go.
Well, here you are sharing your story with the people that you helped today with the Wounded Warrior Project. Can you tell us about what you do there?
We do benefits. What I specifically do, Wounded Warrior Project is a wide, very wide service organization. It's not just benefits we help with mental health, warriors to work, job placement, resume assistance, financial assistance, health and wellness, physical health and wellness. It's a wide array of services that we offer. I specifically do the benefits portion of it. We have an awesome benefits team here. We really do. There's approximately 70, 75 of us across the nation, and we rock at what we do. We bring in millions upon millions of dollars annually for these veterans.
What sets you apart from like the state AZDVS? You worked with them before you went to
I
Wounded
did.
Warrior.
And the state was a great place to work, and I would still be working there. Wounded Warrior Project just has more room for advancement and personal growth. We are the same thing. We're on the same team. We just have more to offer and room to grow. It's an awesome place to work. It really is. And it's rewarding giving back to those that have given. That's the cool part. And when you can put a smile on someone's face, I just closed one out a while ago, got off the phone with the guy, he got a $37,000 retro. It's not going to take him into the golden age of retirement, but it is a huge unexpected windfall. And like I was saying, some of the other services that we offer is financial education. And we offer that to the warriors that make the retros. And 90% of them take us up on that, but it teaches you how to invest that, spend a little for you, but invest it and make it grow.
I didn't know you guys did that. That's cool.
It's very cool. This is one of the most rewarding jobs I could have ever had. Better than anything I've ever done. Making a difference in the life of the veterans.
Yeah, because it could be a retro payment of just 10 grand and that person could be so appreciative.
Life-changing.
Yeah, because maybe they've been fighting their battle for a long time and you're their last chance. They're like, I have been doing this for so long. And then you finally get them across the finish line.
My biggest achievements has been at Wounded Warrior Project. We got a guy, he was completely destitute, medical bills out the wazoo. His claim was pursued. We found a loophole. We got him a $227,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That was amazing. It was, talk about life changing. That guy still calls me every couple months to say thanks. And we do maintain contact. You develop a personal rapport with these people you're working with. Some are good, most are good. Got a few bad ones that blame us for the VA's decision. It's not us, we're just the people that help them get there. But there's some that we still keep in touch. You make lifelong friends doing this.
It's a really personable endeavor because I had to fight my case for 8 years before I got my service connection. And you're having to relive your trauma or, there a lot goes into your claims. I had to relive my trauma over and over again. And to divulge that to a stranger.
It's difficult. It is. I mean, having been in law enforcement for all the years that I was, I've got the gift of gab, whereas a new person coming off the streets hired right in here may not have. So that was my upper benefit, just have a way of putting people at ease and getting them to tell me their story and open up to me.
Yeah.
I can't help you unless you help me help you. I don't know what you're presenting with. I need you to tell your story and let me pass that to the VA.
Veterans are so great at that too.
All we do.
Yep. There's the vault over here. Well, thanks for everything that you do and what you do in the resource center. You've been here for the entire time since the initial ribbon cutting 8 years ago.
I retired in 19 from the PD. I came to the state, Arizona Department of Veteran Services, had an office out of here, same office. And with Wounded Warrior Project, I've got the same office. We were able to maintain a foothold here. I've been 6, 7 directors now, the 6th or 7th. I've seen them come and go. Many ideas, many failed attempts, many things that we could have done, should have done differently. And hopefully you're on the right path now from hearing all the success stories and failures. And so far, this is the best I've seen this room. No kidding, in years past was full of just bins and bins of expired food.
Mm.
And I mean, this is amazing now. What's going on? People actually have a place to come, tell their story, just hang out.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Well, I hope it continues to grow and people utilize this space and sharing our stories. Like I continue to say, we never know who we're going to affect by telling our story.
It's true.
Just like having this conversation now, it's like you're not alone, and we can just keep on keeping on, keep pushing, stay resilient, don't stop. Eventually you will get there. It's worth it.
It will.
Yeah.
Like I was sharing with you before, Wounded Warrior Project has various entities that can help partner with you, like Jody from Physical Health Wellness. She does that insane yoga crap. And
she does more than that.
I know.
She's a beast.
Yeah, she'll whip my butt if she hears me talking about her. I mean, partner with some of the groups and get some people over here, have her do some expos over here or some of our other group meetings. This is the perfect venue.
Yeah, I spoke to Jody and she's really excited to come into the space and bring in all of her energy. She's got a lot of energy.
Oh, you have no idea.
We'll do a little body boot camp and some power yoga and, you know, really find the breath, find the resilience in the body.
We can hear her yelling from back in the back. She's in one of the conference room doing a virtual class because it's not just in person. We do virtual things also. She's in there just yelling, but she's down doing them too. One more, one more. What's wrong with you? Stop it.
You said 1 more, 5 more ago. So what do you do outside of all of the good that you do?
I'm very active with the Masonic Lodge and the Shriners. I'm the past potentate last year of El Zariba Shrine, which that in essence is CEO of the shrine. It's a 5-year line. I think that's where all my gray came from. But we support the 22 hospitals worldwide that, regardless of a parent's ability to pay, we help them. Everything from sports injuries for the youth. It's capped out at 18. Sports injuries, spina bifida, cleft lip, ortho issues. We provide, I don't want to say free of charge, we provide the service regardless of their ability to pay. If they have insurance and can pay a portion, so be it. If they don't, we still help the child. That is extremely one of the best rewarding things I've ever done in my life. And after I went out of office this past January, I got elected to the Board of Governors at the Pasadena Clinic. And hands down, that is the best position I've ever had because it brings everything full circle. You see the fruits of your labor coming to a complete closure on that end with the child. I was just there. I'm there every month. I was just there a couple months ago, and there was a young man there. He was 6 years old. And this is why we, as veteran warriors, should not wake up bitching about our aches and pains. Mm-hmm. This guy was a little kid. His name is Hero. He was born with osteoimperfecta, or brittle bone disease. Double amputee. His bones would just start growing different directions from the joint. They wanted to get him ambulatory, worry about the arms mechanisms later in life, but get him up and mobile. So I was commenting on his shoes that day, and he goes, "Yeah, they're my favorite. The others are blisters on my feet." What the hell do you say to that? And he goes, "Got ya." If that don't melt your heart, man, nothing will.
Oh, man.
It's just extremely rewarding. We do burns, ortho, cleft lip, spina bifida, a multitude of things. We're actually closing our hospitals. And I know that sounds bad, but it's really not, because it's a gain, because we don't need the butts in beds as much anymore as we used to with advances in healthcare. So they're taking the hospitals and turning them into surgical clinics, if you will. If we need overnight stay, we partner with a local hospital right there by that. And it's going to be win-win because instead of 22 hospitals that we did have, we can expand to 60, 80, hundreds of clinics, whereas we have none in Arizona. We could potentially one day get a center of excellence here in the state of Arizona versus going to California or Utah, which is the ones we support from Arizona.
Wow. I had the privilege to go down to the Masonic Lodge.
That was fine.
Yeah, you gave me a tour, and what a temple.
It's a huge building.
Yeah.
It's a huge building. We supplement a lot of our own income so we can keep our doors open with rentals. We got that very large auditorium, and we keep it rented out.
That thing is huge. Wow. You can fit the platform I worked on, the P3 trailer, Ryan. You can fit 2 birds in there.
Oh, easily.
Huge.
Easily. We've had boxing rings up on the stage. We've had MMA fights on the floor. It's
All
incredible
right.
concerts.
That's amazing. So what was your byline? So if you're the
Okay.
potente, yeah. You come up with the slogan, and yours was dream,
Believe in miracles.
believe in miracles.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how that came up. We were sitting at the Phoenix office, and there's a little half wall outside our office going to an event at the shrine, and little guy, St. Patrick's Day, little guy in a leprechaun suit. He was, no kidding, a little guy in a leprechaun suit sitting on the wall on the phone. A couple of us are talking, and he's just gone. I'm thinking, great, a drunk fell off the wall. I went over and I looked, and be damned, he was gone. Well, I'm telling people about it. What'd you do? I'm looking for his gold. Dumbass, it's a guy in a costume, St. Patrick's Day. You need to believe in miracles. And everybody was like, ta-da, that's the thing.
Oh, that's
But to be a
hilarious.
Shriner and to do what we do as Shriners with Wounded Warrior Project at the PD, you got to believe in the miracles. You got to have a reason, because not everything is cyclical or black and white. Every time you think you're at the finish line, something else happens. So you've got to be ready to adapt, but those miracles do come in handy.
Yeah. I follow this woman, Gabby Bernstein. She's like a thought leader. And there's a book called A Course in Miracles. And it says miracles are natural. Miracles are, a part of life. Like, you must believe in them. So much beauty happens in the world. And like, back to what you were saying, like finding that gratitude every day. There's so much to be grateful for, instead of like bitching about what you don't have and who screwed you over and all the shit that happens to everybody in the world. Instead of focusing on the negative, just wake up and be like, you have so much to be grateful for today.
Yeah.
And what do I get to do today? And you get to do so much great work. How do you not take any of that home with you? Like, you're obviously an extremely empathetic person.
You've got to be, but you do internalize so much stuff.
Where your boundaries come from? Like, what are your tools that you use to cope with? Because you see a lot of pain.
The easiest things I do, I just have fun. We got our messes that we deal with on a daily basis, personal life, and with the people I talk to, hearing their stories, man, it'll break you down, wear you down. You got to find an outlet. So shortly, I was still at the PD, but I took blacksmithing lessons from a local guy. What a perfect way to take out your energy. You get to bang shit really hard. You get to play with fire, and you come up with something tangible. It may not be as sexy as what you envisioned it to be at first, but it's fun. You take away something tangible.
Mm-hmm.
It is very fun. A little hot in the summer.
But you get to meet like artists and unique people through that journey.
You do.
Right?
I met a couple of guys. One of the girls I know from here local, good friend of mine, her husband is a Shriner also. She went on Forged in Fire. Another friend of mine from the Washington area won Forged in Fire. He's at my house a couple times a year. And there's no way I can keep up with him. But he specializes in culinary knives. And trust me, I have a whole new respect on culinary knives from him. I don't like them. Just stick to what I do. But he's got all the fancy tools. I've got an anvil, a forge, and a hydraulic press. He's got the hydraulic hammers. And where I'm going like this, he just stands there and lets the machine do the work. but it's fun.
Yeah.
It is hands down fun and stress relief because you're expending your energy that day.
Yeah. It's a great way to get it all out versus drinking or fighting or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we all need to find something that's something creative.
It's fun, Dad. Just, time with the shrine. I know it sounds funny. Leaving here, going to the shrine, especially the last 5 years, I had two 40-an-hour-a-week jobs and about 60,000 miles a year of travel over those years. But leaving here and going to the shrine is a outlet. It's really a stress relief, even though what we're dealing with is tragic and trauma and birth defects, crippling diseases, etc. It's rewarding to do something to give back to help them.
Yep. Yeah.
It is an outlet, it really is.
Talking to Dave Campbell last week. He was our guest last week. Same
Good
thing.
guy.
That man, yeah, right. He is in so much service. Like that's what he believes he's gifted to do.
We're all here for a reason. I think that's what I'm for. I've lived my whole life, hell, even in the Cub Scouts before went into the military, but since about age 16, I've been involved in life of service, giving back.
Wow.
Good upbringing.
You're a hero, Darrell.
Guy with a job to do.
Yeah, that's what you guys all say. So you're covered head to foot in tattoos, right?
Mostly.
Mostly.
Can I give a shout out to the guy that did most of them?
Absolutely.
My brother Harley Goodson, also a Shriner from Ascension Tattoo up in Sedona.
Yeah, I drove by there not too long ago. He's kind of booked out because
He is. He's one of the only people. My arms and stuff, these were all overseas, Hong Kong, Japan. The very detailed ones from the waist down. He's probably the only guy I would ever trust in the world to start scribbling on me off just an idea. He's a Shriner, he's a Mason. He knows what the intent of what I'm trying to do. He'll just grab a Sharpie and start marking on me, and is that it? No, just that. Okay, there he goes, and the rest of it just flows. He is one hellacious artist and a good friend.
Sounds like you have a lot of great people in your life. Huge support.
Great support team between the Shriners, outside friends, here at Wounded Warrior Project, here at Azura Veterans Coalition. We're one team, one family, one fight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you did a video about Heal the Hero, and Dave Campbell talked about Heal the Hero last week.
Yeah, I was lucky. It's that a program was developed. I understand, for the Army, by the Army. Initially, when it came out, that device, I was lucky enough. I was one of the first PD people to get to go through that system. I thought it was voodoo. But okay, I'm getting out of the heat for a little bit. Let me go check it out. You put your hand on this little cradle thing initially, and it maps your body. And the guy's sitting there looking at me and says, "You got hip issues, don't you?" Oh, you dude. So I sat up straight. Okay, I'll play your game. You wear this little machine. After you do that, it remaps your body, allows it to heal. Then you put this thing on your head, about 7 minutes, and it creates a sound wave of your brain. Your brain hears it and autocorrects itself and takes all the valleys, as they call it, out and allows the neurons to fire again. You actually keep the machine when you graduate. I still have it and still use it. But what really sold me on that, I had an allergy test at the VA. It was like 12 tubes of blood in about 10 days to get those results back. I was doing my little calibration tune-up one day, and I asked, "Can you guys check for the allergies?" He goes, "Oh yeah, about an extra 5-minute run." Okay. Plus or minus about 0.2%. They did not have my VA records, did not have the results, nothing. But then plus or minus of about 2/100ths of a point, it was verbatim what the blood test did. Didn't have to stick me. That's what sold me on it.
Believe in miracles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's an awesome program. I still maintain contact with the guys from over there. We're down in Scottsdale. I don't think they are anymore. They had an office in Mesa. I know they've got a mobile van that goes around and comes to you to provide these services. And who knows, maybe one day we can get them in here for a week.
That would be phenomenal.
It would.
You're the hero. Well, that's a lot. You're doing amazing. And your son just got married.
He did.
Congratulations.
Married to one of my old former partners at the PD's daughter. Unbeknownst to them, we knew each other, and this is the funny story about it. I had to take her home one night, something with a battery in her car, and too late. I had no idea who her dad was. They just started dating. This was like 8 years ago. And here we pull up, and he comes out the door. What are you doing here? My house, my daughter. They're both like, oh my God, we ain't gonna get away with nothing. And they didn't. They still don't.
Oh,
Like an episode of Blue Bloods.
right.
But yeah, she's a good girl. We got to keep her.
Well, they look like a happy couple.
They are. That's proud of them.
Good parents. Is there anything you would like to share with the audience?
Keep being true to yourself, man, and don't be afraid to talk. Always people that'll listen.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you for all the work you do. And thanks for
you're welcome.
welcoming me into the center the way that you did. I got this cool Wounded Warrior project book, and just for taking me under your wing and showing me how things are done and showing me about the shrine. And
anything you need that we can do from the Shrine Wounded Warrior Project, let me know.
yeah,
We're always here.
thanks, brother.
Thanks.